The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Conor Commentary, a hilarious take on news, politics, sports, and current events. It's time to buckle up. Here's Conor.
All right, guys, welcome back. It is week 11, and I have very special guests in here with me, the Spike King. I know you guys probably recognize him from Instagram, spiking everything from Bud Lights. Is that one of your big things? I've seen you spike a lot of Bud Lights.
Oh, I love Bud Lattes, dude, you know, and I'm still trying to work on it because I want them. If Bud Latte's looking at me right now, dude.
Hey, if they want a good advertisement,
Come at me. I want that, dude. That's all I drink, but I put on the pounds with that.
That is a result of it. Yeah, that is one thing that goes on when you drink a few too many Bud Lights, but they are perfect. Yeah. So hopefully they do sponsor you. All right, let's get into it. First, I'll just start with my mom's pick of the weeks, and then we can talk troll. And I'm sure you must get a lot of people that troll, right?
Oh, I love trolls. I love haters. It fuels the fire, dude.
It gets you going, right?
You need trolls. You know, you need that people out there.
Honestly, when I get it, I usually just laugh. I'm like, these people are just miserable.
Whatever. They're jabronis, dude.
Exactly.
You know what? They're keyboard warriors.
That's what it is, yeah.
There are so many people that hide behind Twitter, and I know who you guys are. You hide behind Twitter. You hide behind your Instagram phones. You talk all this crap, and guess what? I'm out there.
You're
all
always
the time.
out there, dude,
and I tell you where I'm going to be. And I'm going to be in Philly in 2 weeks. Come find me out there. Come see that. You know.
I was going to ask you because you always go on the road. Does anyone ever come over there and try and talk shit? Or
it happened once.
Once last
year at the Chargers game.
Was it? Okay.
I was with GRD. We were walking around the concourse. Someone saw me, saw the eye black. Like, hey, I know who you are. You're that guy who's on social media. You're a loser. You started dropping some vulgarity that I won't say on the show.
Okay.
And then I just stood there and I was like, is this guy really doing that?
Yeah.
And this and that. And GRD's looking at me like, dude, you're going to let this guy do it? And you know what I said to him? I said, dude, you can talk all your crap. Guess what's going to happen after this game? You're going to be in the parking lot freezing cold for 3 hours trying to get out of Gillette. I'm going to be with the players downstairs and catering, eating with them, hanging out. I said, you don't believe me? Check my Instagram. And guess what happened? After the game, when they blew out the Chargers, that's what happened. So.
That was last year?
Yeah,
was that the playoff game?
It was at Gillette. Yeah. During the playoff
okay.
Game.
Yep. They did blow them out.
And I want them to hate because guess what? I know what things are going to be lined up. I know I'm going to be going to the Super Bowl. I know these things are going to end up happening. It's the same thing this year. Like, I've had some situations where, Ticket Gate that came up, and I got 700 tickets to the open stadium practice.
Yeah,
I got 700 tickets. It was Ticketmaster's fault. Someone from Gillette called me and was mad at me, and he said, you are a despicable human being.
Really?
You should take a one-way ticket out of here. It's from Gillette. You think you're a somebody. We see you with your wrestling belt, and we see you running around. You're a nobody. And I laughed because guess what? Okay, go do that.
Right.
Because in a couple months, when the Thursday Night Football commercial comes out, my face is going to be on your organization. When I'm on, radio, I'm going to be out there. These players that I have lined up to do things with, I'm doing an interview with James White at his Sweet Peeper. Like, these things are lined up. And if you're going to do that, keep hating because it's going to fuel my fire.
Yeah, dude,
I'm going to keep going. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
It makes you go higher, man. It really does.
It drives me. There's so many people that support me. There's so many great people out there that see what I'm doing and see what I'm trying to build and build it together because it's a team. It really is a team effort. I can't do everything on my own, but man, that one person out of 99 people that wants to bug me, I want to prove you wrong. And every time you step up and get higher, there's more people that start seeing you. There's more haters that are going to be there, more supporters, but more haters as well.
That's extremely true. Somebody else told me that it was a big following. Like, the more the haters come out, the more people that get to see you because then they're like, look at this loser. And then a bunch of people look and then they're like, nah, guy's actually funny.
I'm going to prove you wrong every single time. It's that, it's like that Belichick and Brady mentality. It's the Patriot mentality. It really does work in like real life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Let me get into my mom's picks. So I don't know if you know Pete Prisco. When I did this, I wanted to pick an expert, right? And then show that my mom could beat the expert. And then a shitload of people like, who's Pete Prisco? Because he does it for CBS Sports. So I thought everyone would know him. I guess not as many as I thought. But my mom is still beating him by 11 games on the season. So every week my mom picks him. Pete Prisco picks him. My mom's beating him by 11. They tied last week. They both went 8-6. So Pete is now 76, 58, and 1. My mom, 87, 47, and 1. So she keeps the 11-point lead. All right, let's see. Thursday night, we got Oakland, the Chargers. My mom is going Oakland.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a pick. That's gonna be a good game.
I like John Gruden a lot.
I like Gruden a lot too.
You got to believe in him. It's going to take time. There's a reason why they signed him for a 10-year contract. I think the Raiders' year is not this year. I said they're going to go to the AFC title game. And there's so many games that they should win and they should have won. They've been close. They still are in the wild card hunt this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I still believe in them, but I think next year will be the year they make that big splash. I like the Oakland Raiders a lot. Las Vegas Raiders when that happens.
Las Vegas Raiders, I know that's coming up. Then we got Chicago, Detroit. My mom's going Detroit. You got to go Detroit there.
I feel so bad for Detroit this year because they gotten porked so many times.
I know.
Remember the Green Bay game when they got porked and Trey Flowers got that call?
Did. That was twice, too.
Yeah,
twice
that happened
calls
in that game. And their record is worse than what their team is.
Right.
And like you said, Chicago does not have a quarterback.
Right.
They could have got Pat Mahomes. They traded up for Trubisky. They traded a lot of assets for Trubisky. And then they traded a lot for Khalil Mack. And at the time last year, that trade helped out Bears.
Absolute stud, yeah.
A couple of years later, now it's the second year. It's not going to look good. Oh, and again, Oakland wins that trade.
Now it's looking good. Now they have that kid that they drafted in Oakland that was on Hard Knocks who broke his wrist.
Jonathan Abram.
Yes.
Dude,
now he's making plays.
I watched that. He's a stud, and he was right at the beginning of the season. He got hurt or something like that. So you'll have him next year. Plus, you'll have a couple draft picks. Like I said, that team, you go watch out for them.
Plus, they went out and got Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
So let's see. Cincinnati, Baltimore. My mom's going Baltimore.
Of course, man.
That's an easy one. Tampa Bay, Arizona. She's going to go Tampa Bay. That's going to be a good game, huh?
Tampa Bay held their own in Seattle recently.
They did, last week. Really,
Seattle stinks at home this year for some reason.
Remember when they were unbeatable at home?
Yeah,
no one could touch them.
The 12th man.
Yeah,
and
the 12th man.
And now it's not there anymore. Once the Legion of Boom was gone, it's kind of they lost that luster up there. It's weird. Shout out to Josh Gordon. I'm glad that someone picked him up. He's up there. That team.
You ever meet him?
I met him twice last year.
Really?
So, real quick story. Like last year, he came to the team. They played against the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
I flew out there, and it was Sunday Night Football, so I made a sign that said Sunday Night Flash. And I had a front row ticket, paid $250.
Actually, I saw you down there. Yeah.
And the thing was, he was inactive that game.
I remember that.
But as the warm-ups were going on, I'm having the sign. I got there super early. Gates opened up 3 hours before. Held the sign out. He saw it. He pointed at it. And then once we found out he was inactive, he came over and was just like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Really?
And I was like, "Oh, Josh Gordon! Oh my God!" And I gave him my phone. I dropped my phone, but I was like, "Oh, can you take a selfie?" And he took a selfie with us. And that was cool, man. It was like his first interaction with Patriots fans. And then I found him at a Celtics game, I think, after the Chicago Bears game, and I found him and I blew up his spot. I'm sorry about that, Josh Gordon, but I blew up his
watching.
I blew up his spot and just was like, "Hey, like, what's up?"
Yeah.
He's kind of hiding, and he took a picture, and then everyone went up to him afterwards.
Oh,
and he's got anxiety issues, and he's like a little weird when it comes to social issues. But I mean, if you go in a suite or something like that, I'm sorry, dude. Like, if you don't want to see the fans out there, go. He was right in the middle of like the Boston Garden. So
right, you think he would be sitting up there in a suite if he wanted to stay away from everybody.
It's unfortunate it didn't work out, but guess what? The Pats won the Super Bowl last year without him. He was definitely a help, and then this year, I'm not going to speak for the Pats organization, or I'm not going to speak for anybody, but it just didn't work out, and they want to move forward from that.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it. I'm not like disappointed. I hope he does great. I hope he keeps doing well. He does well with Seattle, but it was just time to move on.
He went on waivers, and this might speak highly about what goes on in the background that never goes out there to the public, but Seattle had the 28th waiver. And that's how far Josh Gordon dropped.
Right.
So just, one of those good teams is going to take him. Obviously, Seattle's a contending team this year. But it just kind of shows you, like, why did all these other teams, Miami could have picked him up, and they would get like a 5th rounder or something off of it. They would get like a compensation pick.
Compensation pick.
Exactly. I'm bad with my language sometimes. So they would have got a pick off of that. So
yeah, and he's not making a ton of money either.
No, he's not. He's still on his I think he's still on his rookie deal.
Right,
he's an unrestricted free agent after this season. Someone's going to pick him up. Someone's going to give him the money.
So hopefully he does.
He got his ring, and the team was around him. I wish him the best. I hope Seattle plays New England in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, we're going to be there in Miami. So
you're going to be there. We'll talk about that, dude. Tennessee, Kansas City. My mom's going to go Kansas City. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be back there.
And Matt Moore stepped up for them, too.
Huge, dude. Yeah, he looked really good.
That's something to overcome adversity like that.
Absolutely. He's like 36, too, I think. Something like that.
Journeyman of the NFL.
I was going to say, somebody should scoop him, but he is getting a little bit older. But there are a lot of bad quarterback-led teams out there, so somebody could use him.
Oh, the quarterbacks nowadays stink. This is why Brady's going to play till he's 50.
I hope so.
An average Tom Brady is going to be better than half the league.
Oh, easily, yeah. Look at the competition. Then my mom's got Cleveland, Buffalo. Wow, she's going to pick Cleveland in an upset there. We'll see, man. We'll see how
Buffalo's frauds. They're going to lose. So? Yeah, they're not a good team. They should have lost to Miami a couple weeks ago. Yep. They got smoked by the Eagles. They just played the Redskins.
I had a feeling they were going to lose to the Eagles.
Yeah. The Eagles are on a little streak right now, and Buffalo's going to. I mean, they're fighting for wild card, but they're going to fall off eventually.
I think so too, because they got a tough schedule coming up. So we'll see there. Jets Giants. It's gonna be a sloppy New York game. My mom's gonna take the Giants.
Yeah, the Jets are one of the worst teams now in the league.
Yeah. Speaking of the worst teams in the league, we got Miami versus New Orleans. My mom's gonna take New Orleans in that one. That one looks like a slow. Oh no, wait, am I reading this wrong? Atlanta, New Orleans. My mom's gonna take New Orleans. Miami's playing Indianapolis. She's gonna take Indianapolis, of course.
I don't know what Jacoby Brissett's situation is right now. If he's
Me
hurt
neither.
or not.
But speaking of journeyman,
yeah, I know. I mean, it's shout out to Jacoby to go over there. And anybody that says, "Oh, the Pats should have kept Jacoby," you're stupid. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
They traded Jacoby Brissett to get Philip Dorsett, and it worked out in their favor because Philip Dorsett did really well in the playoffs last year, and he also signed a 1-year deal. Like, he's a good wide receiver.
And he's still doing well for us.
Yeah.
We need somebody like that.
You're not going to keep Jacoby on your – like, he's not going to play against Tom Brady. He's not going to start. Like, it's stupid.
Brady says he's playing until 45, so what's the point of keeping this kid here when you can actually get something for him?
I've said this, too, about New Orleans. They won like 5 straight without Drew Brees. They're going to the Super Bowl.
Nuts,
They're going to the Super Bowl. That's a team that came around. You don't have Drew Brees, and you come around and win games without him. And there's a couple games they didn't even have Kamara.
Oh,
and they're
dude,
winning those games.
Yeah.
But no matter what, the NFC is going to be very, very tough when the playoffs come. But that's a team that they're due to go to the Super Bowl.
I think so too, especially what happened last year.
Last year and even the year before that with the Minnesota Miracle.
Right.
And
oh my God, I forgot about that.
Stephon Diggs, dude. Like,
dude, you're right. 2 years in a row.
Because they would have went to Philly and they would have beat Philly. They would have beat Philly.
Yeah.
And when we would put them in
it would have been. It would have been.
Probably would have lost to them Super Bowl 52.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that year the defense couldn't stop. Couldn't stop anyone.
Bend don't break. That's what Matt Patricia's all about.
Yeah. I prefer Steve Belichick over there calling the plays now. Let's see. We got Pittsburgh Rams. My mom's going to take the Rams in that one. We'll see. Pittsburgh's been playing really well, man.
Yeah, they stepped it up.
They stepped it up, especially on defense with Mason Rudolph. We got Green Bay, Carolina. My mom's going to go Green Bay. That should be a good one. I know they just said Newton's out for the year, right?
Yeah. So they're going to start Allen for the rest of the year. And Green Bay, it was a shocker that they lost the Chargers.
Yeah.
So no way they lose back-to-back games.
I would be shocked too. They're too good of a team. They're almost like the Patriots in that sense. When they lose, they're going to come back and win.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens. Dallas, Minnesota. It's going to be a great game, dude. That's Sunday Night Football. My mom's going to go Dallas in that one.
That's a tough one to pick. I don't like Kirk Cousins, but then he keeps proving me wrong.
I know he does, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then Dallas, like they could have lost to the Giants on this past Monday. So I think Dallas is pretty fraudish, and we'll see. I mean,
we'll see. They
it's a pick 'em. That's a pick 'em. Like it's just who shows up that day.
Yeah, that's what a lot of it is.
I pick Dallas.
Let's see. And then the Monday Night Football is going to be awesome. San Francisco versus Seattle. My mom's going to take San Francisco. I personally think Seattle's due to. I mean,
where is it? Is it in Seattle?
It's in San Francisco.
Oh, it's in San Fran.
Yeah, from what I see.
Seattle, and Seattle stinks over there in their own house. Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. Shout out to Jimmy G, dude.
Shout out to Jimmy G and that Shanahan.
Team, they've stepped it up, and this was the year that you were going into the season. Is Jimmy G legit?
Right.
And again, screw the people that said you should keep Jimmy G and move on from Brady. You never move on from Brady. You stick with Brady. He won you 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, and look what happened since then. They went to the Super Bowl. Was it 2 or 3 years in a row? Because they've gone to the Super Bowl the past 3 years. When did they get rid of Jimmy G?
They got rid of him, I believe, after Super Bowl 51, right?
Okay.
Yep. I think he got traded. I think he got traded halfway through the season.
Yes. Yep.
And they went to the 52 year. They got traded halfway through the season. And but I mean, again, it's a business. They should have traded him before the season. They should have traded him to Cleveland, and they probably could have got the fourth. They could have got the fourth overall pick or whatever.
That's what I would think.
And maybe you don't want to trade him to the AFC because you don't want to play against him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way Belichick thinks, and let's let him over in the NFC. But I think they could have got a better deal off of Jimmy G. But there's no way Jimmy G was starting over Tom Brady. And then he got hurt. He got hurt the next season.
Yeah, he did. He
got hurt last year, and he tore his ACL or whatever.
He did. Yep.
But it's great to see him bounce back. You're rooting for somebody like that.
Yeah.
What's great is that no matter who comes out of that NFC, again, Patriots going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They're going to be repping.
You already got the tattoo, right?
Yeah.
So they have to. Hey, you did it last year. It worked out.
But whoever comes out of the NFC, there's going to be a storyline. Whether it's Breeze versus Brady, whether it's Rodgers versus Brady, whether it's Jimmy G versus Brady, whether it's Seattle. Going back to
the
Super
repeat.
49.
Yeah.
You have something like that. You'll have a storyline for any team out there. There's something that they'll go against the Patriots.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Like I said, I got to stick with the Saints because I said it was going to be the Saints. It literally is a toss-up, though. You cannot pick the NFC right now.
You're right.
Because like I just said, those 4 teams.
Those 4 teams are stacked.
Are going to be the last 4 teams.
Yep.
And you're going to see that. And it could be a surprising team like Minnesota.
The Rams, maybe.
Kirk Cousins this year reminds me of Joe Flacco of like that year. Like Joe Flacco's elite. He reminds me of that year. And they could go on a run and they could go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude.
Anything can happen.
It's funny. We were talking about that even before you got here. Joe Flacco went on that awesome run.
Yeah.
And then they paid him a bajillion dollars because of it.
He's owed like 24 and like 30 million the next 2 years.
From Baltimore?
I think it's from Denver.
Denver has to pick that up
I think
now?
Denver has to pick that up and pay. Someone's getting screwed on that.
Yeah, someone's getting screwed,
Because Joe Flacco has mailed it in. He's not the same player, and you could tell when they're playing Kansas City a couple weeks ago on Thursday Night Football.
Oh my God.
Not trying.
That's exactly what I thought at the end of the game. I'm like, this guy just wants to go home.
Yeah.
Like he was getting pressured. He didn't want to move. He just threw the ball.
Can you blame him though? He's a Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. He won his championship. He's probably never going to do it again.
He's got $100 million.
Paid a ton of money. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, and he's getting the bag beat out of him by the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football.
That shows the difference between someone like him and someone like Tom Brady, where Tom Brady doesn't need football anymore. That guy could retire. He could have retired when he won 3.
He could have been a stay-at-home dad with his wife.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? It proves that that's what winners want to do. They want to keep winning.
Right.
They want to keep playing. It's like Derek Jeter. Like, he's a winner, dude. That guy wants to go out there and give it his all every single day.
Right.
But then you got a guy like Joe Flacco, had a hot run. Everyone has their hot times here and there. And he's like, yep, my career's over, dude. I'm set, man. Like, I can just get paid now because the quarterback situation stinks.
Yeah.
All across the league. And his name sells, and that's why Elway was like, all right, let's pick him up.
What else was the Broncos going to do? Although they did draft the quarterback, right? And he's going to play now because Flacco's on the IR.
Yeah, I forget who they drafted. But remember, they got like Brock Osweiler over there at one point. That didn't work out. Trevor Siemian, that didn't work out. There's some like rotating thing since Peyton Manning, and they had him that they've been going through all these quarterbacks, and it doesn't work out for them. So.
Right. So you already got the tattoo. So you already have the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. Are you going to go to all the games between now and then, or what's the plan? I know you hold the tailgate parties too; those are massive.
Dude,
I see people going nuts, spiking the stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a good time. I'm going to go to Philly in 2 weeks. We're on a bye week right now. I'm going to go to Philly in 2 weeks.
Philly's where it got started, right?
Yeah.
You did the Philly spike, the cheese spike. Did that come on the news?
So, bro, someone down at like NBC Sports Philly wrote an article about me and was this disgraceful Patriots fans they like spiked the cheesesteak, and then I had people reach out to me and be like, you're an a-hole, blah blah blah, like this and that, and we lost the Super Bowl. The Patriots lost. I don't play for the Patriots.
Right.
The Pats lost. A lot of people hate that when you use we and stuff to talk about a team.
Yeah.
The Pats lost. The first thing I posted on Instagram was like me holding an L instead of the cheesesteak.
Yeah.
And some people respected it. They're like, okay, it's a game. That's all it is. It's a game at the end of the day, all right? We're just fans. And I actually built some relationships off of that down in Philly. So when I go to Philly in 2 weeks, I'm going to be with the 4th and John tailgate. 4th and John, they do their thing on NBC Sports Philly down there.
Oh, nice.
They hold an awesome tailgate down there. It's sponsored by Bud Latte, which is awesome.
Is it? All right, there
and
you
they
go.
have a bakery that sponsors them and gives them a lot of pizza. So I'll be down there. So I'll be pretty protected when I go.
Yeah.
You got some insiders that are looking out for me.
They're nuts there in Philly.
Oh,
is that the craziest
100%.
fan base, you think?
100%. So Buffalo, I went to Buffalo this year.
Oh my God, speaking of crazy.
And they're nuts and they're funny and this and that. But here's the difference is when you go to an away game, people are going to instigate with you.
Oh, of
people
course.
are going to touch you.
Of
They're going to
course.
swear and they're going to stick up their middle fingers in front of your face. It's you as the individual to let it go. You're in their house. Don't fight back with them because that's when you're going to lose. You're going to be outnumbered no matter what. And I know that. But once I get to start talking to them and joke around and do all this stuff, example for the Bills tailgate. Pancho Villa. Pancho Villa is one of their super fans, and he passed away, unfortunately, over the offseason due to cancer.
Yeah.
He was from Mexico, I believe, or down in Texas, and he went to the University of Buffalo, and he would travel back and forth. So I actually have on here, it says Pancho Power.
Oh, nice.
And, and he has like a little, he had like a little patch, and I wore it on my vest and all that to show support, man. It's like, dude, it's a game. Who cares? But, dude, I'm here to support your fan base. Same thing with Philly. Like, I'm there to support your fan base. Like, at the end of the day, we won the Super Bowl last year, the Pats.
Right,
so it's
exactly.
like, who cares about 2 years ago?
And
they all want to shove
again.
41-33 in your face. It's like, do you forget
know.
about 2004, 2005? Do you forget about McNabb? Do you forget about all that?
I know. Back in 04, dude, they beat McNabb, and then they lost this one. We'll see. You think the Eagles have any chance to get there this year? No.
Because, first of all, in this game, their secondary in Philly stinks. And Brady threw 500 yards on them. He did 500 yards on them and lost. That never happens.
Yeah, that's
You're coming off a loss against Baltimore, and you see this boogeyman. The boogeyman. These guys came up with that name, right? And you go into Baltimore and you get destroyed. It makes you look soft. It makes you look bad.
Absolutely.
This is a big game for them to rebound and say, hey, no, you know what? We're going to come out and we destroy these teams. I will say I think that the Pats do play vanilla against the Ravens because I do believe in Belichick saying we're going to see this team later on.
Yes.
Let's have Lamar go off on us because then we're going to study and pinpoint everything that he does so that when January comes and he comes up to Foxborough, we know exactly how to play against them. We know exactly what to do on their defense.
That's what he does. That's what he does. So you think it was almost a good thing that they lost?
Just take every year they do that.
Right.
So let's say last year they played Pittsburgh. I felt like last year they played very vanilla down there. there in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
They were like, we might see this team later on in the playoffs. Let's just like kind of study how they do everything.
Right.
2 years prior to that, they played Miami on that Monday night game. It was cold. They played vanilla. They didn't have Gronk that game. They were very hurt. They didn't try in that game because they knew we can afford a loss because we're playing Pittsburgh later next week. We want to make sure we show nothing to Pittsburgh because they're going to take our game and study that.
Right.
A couple of years before that, they played the Packers. I think they played in Green Bay.
Yes.
And they played vanilla, dude. It's just like you're just like this doesn't seem like the Patriots team out there. It doesn't seem. That's the same thing that happened this past. It just doesn't seem like the New England Patriots out there.
That happens every year, and it's at this point before, like now, the whole media will go nuts and talk all this shit, like, oh, they're not as good. The defense just played weak competition. But I think you're right, man, and I think they're going to come back and kill them.
There's 32 professional football teams out there. Every team that plays the New England Patriots wants to beat them.
Yeah.
You're a player. You're getting paid to play. You're not getting paid to go out there and just mail it in. You have incentives that you have to reach for bonuses.
Right.
This is what's going on. And the fact is, the New England Patriots went down to Miami, a tough place to play, and they went into the Jets. The Jets just beat the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys are the top of the NFC East. And they gave them 0 points both times. You know how hard it is to shut out a professional football team? No field goals, no nothing.
That is absurd.
So screw everybody out there that says that they're playing against weak competition. Okay. The Pittsburgh Steelers, that first week that they came in there, Pittsburgh was 100% healthy. It's the first game of the year, and they only gave up 3 points against Pittsburgh. You play the Buffalo Bills. Brady had his worst game of the season of his career.
Worst game in years, dude.
And you know what? They won 16-10 thanks to his special teams and their defense.
Yep.
You play against, again, the Jets. The Jets are coming off of a hot win where Sam Darnold was out most of the year already going into that game.
He came back on fire looking like he was going to be good. Yeah.
And they smoked him.
Yeah.
They smoked him down there.
He was seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
He was seeing the boogeyman.
Yeah. Miami, they stink. I can understand that.
Yeah, that was bad.
What's some other teams on the top of my head? The Browns. The Browns are absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
Like, they're
but
trash.
the Browns are so talented.
Yeah,
Why are they bad, dude? Why are they bad? I don't get it.
I guess Baker Mayfield's not a true leader.
That must be what it is, man.
It stinks, dude, because you want to root for Baker.
Yep.
I like the city of Cleveland. I like the people over there. I went there during the...
I was going to say, you've been there?
Yeah, I was just there because of the Ty Law Hall of Fame thing.
Oh, right,
and after Canton, I went out to Cleveland. I went out to their practice or whatever, and I talked to them. I had my belt and everything. Paper champions out there, the real champions here.
Yep.
And they were all realistic. They're like, all we want to do is make the playoffs. That's it. But you know what? Everyone said they're going to go to the AFC title game. Dude, everyone said they were going to go to the AFC title game. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. They have OBJ. I'm sorry, Odell, you're a loser. Like, you're so talented, but you're on these losing teams. One playoff game in his career, and it was a loss.
Right.
That's it. He's great. He's athletic. He's someone that the Patriots want. He wants to come to New England.
Oh, absolutely.
And
he gave Thomas cleats.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you saw that meme that's like Tom threw him to his buddy, but it was like a trash can. Barstool,
I saw
right?
Barstool do that. Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Good.
No, but another thing, real quick too, about these great players. This whole thing that's coming out about Tom Brady retiring and he's selling his house and like this could be it for him.
Right.
I think there is a rift between Kraft, Belichick, and Brady because they're all competitive.
Right.
And they're not always going to see eye to eye. Just anybody's never going to see eye to eye. And I think that Brady is upset over Antonio Brown. He's a phenomenal player. He can't keep his mouth shut. He can't keep his phone off. But I think that the Patriots have had far worse players on their team or far worse situations than the Antonio Brown thing.
Yeah.
Of course, it's on the Patriots. The media's going to blow it up. And I do feel bad for Belichick in this press conferences. Same thing. I mean, the James White event, I went out and interviewed him. I said to James White, like, hey, what do you think about Antonio Brown as a player? He's just coming off that Miami win. And James White speaks highly of him. The McCoys are getting interviewed by all the Boston media. How about the new sexual allegation thing? They're like, dude, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Don't piss us off. But I think Brady wants these high-class players on his team because he knows that he only has a couple years left. I want these players. I want these receivers. I'm done with all these, lower tier,
Myers,
lower tier.
They're
not, and I'm not trying to shit on them, dude. They're way better than me. I'll never be a wide receiver, trust me. But he wants these high players, and the Pats have the chance to do it. I know Belichick looks out for the future in terms of picks and money and all this and that. There's something there, and I think Brady's making a stand to the organization. I will leave if you don't give me what I want on offense. And it's funny because Belichick has crafted this defense for this year, and that's why I got the tattoo because I believed last year, even though they went 11-5, that defense showed some bright spots. They held Miami to like no points at halftime. They held the Colts to 3 points.
They held the Steelers to wicked low points, even though they lost.
Yep. And they held Kansas City to 9 points in that first game. Then they just, in the second half, they were having trouble in the second half. Same thing in the AFC title game. They held Kansas City to low points.
They didn't score the first half. Yeah.
They didn't. And I'm saying, I saw that defense, and this is a very similar defense. The only difference is you lost Trey Flowers. Guess what? Jamie Collins.
I was going to say, Jamie Collins is a stud.
Yeah, he's an absolute stud. And you see this team that they put around. Stephon Gilmore could win Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
It's great to see him. And a lot of this, too, is these guys are being molded by the past. Ty Law works with Stephon Gilmore one-on-one. Troy Brown's actually wide receivers coach. You got Jamie Collins in there as a vet on the team with them. You got Gerard Mayo, as like a coordinator, a linebackers coach. You have that in there. So Belichick could be like, hey, I crafted this defense, and that defense is him.
Right.
That's him, because he's a defensive coordinator. Like, that's what he did. He had Lawrence Taylor back in the day. Like, he knows what he's doing. So he can look at Brady's side, and if he wants to have a rift, I don't need to give you anything.
Right.
You guys can score 16 points a game, and you know what? We're going to win.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, I thought that the loss in Super Bowl 52, Brady throws 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they lose. Then next year, he goes to Belichick and Kraft, like, I want what I want this year.
Right.
Like, I want to have what's going on. This is my team or something like that. So
yeah, absolutely.
That keeps them competing against each other. You need that,
They always have been. Yeah. You can always tell it's almost like there's something, especially with Belichick and Brady, and then there's the million comparisons of who's better and who deserves more credit.
We'll never know until everyone's retired and everyone's gone from this life, and we won't know.
Say they were separate. Maybe Bill would get 4 Super Bowls and Brady would get 2, or they'd both get 3, or one would get... But they would both be excellent on their own, but together they're just unstoppable.
Belichick is 65 years old, whatever he is. He's in his mid-60s. He's not retiring anytime soon.
You don't think so? You think he's going to keep going?
No, because here's the thing. He might retire as a head coach when he's 70, let's just say.
Yeah, okay.
He'll step away, but guess what? He'll be the GM of the New England Patriots. Tom Coughlin left, and he left the Giants, and he was up there in age. He left for 1 year, hated retirement. The Jacksonville Jaguars came up to him and said, hey, we're going to make up a fake position for you and just come and just be like our president of operations of football. And it's a fake title.
Yeah.
And they give him a little room in the corner, and he does game film, and he studies because he loves football. Belichick's a football guy.
Yes.
He's not going to go retire on his boat with Linda Holiday and just set sails and that's it. That guy is going to want to come back and just keep doing his thing. Plus, Stephen Belichick, we're starting to hear out that he's like the new defensive coordinator, and he's starting to call plays. He wants to groom him for a position. He needs to groom McDaniels for that head coach position.
Yeah. Do you think that's why McDaniel stayed?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. It was either him or Matt Patricia was going to get that job. I love that they kind of screwed over the Colts right there. If McDaniels really wanted another head coaching job, he could have got it with the Colts. He already did it with Denver, and he proved, and I believe he beat the Patriots, and he was the one that drafted Tebow and everything like that. And I believe he got Demaryius Thomas. That's why they wanted Demaryius this year. I feel bad that he got kind of shafted this year.
I know. That stinks for him.
Yeah, I mean, it was over the Antonio Brown thing. I mean, it's just at the time, there's only certain room to do certain things, and it didn't work out.
That stinks to go from the Patriots to the Jets like that, because he was probably had super high hopes, and now he's like, the Jets.
He looked good in the preseason game. Like, he had a touchdown. He looked really good in that game. Coming back off that Achilles injury, and he looked great. But it's just like, hey, we don't have any room for you.
Right.
That's it. So, but anyways, Belichick's going to be a GM. Belichick's doing this till he's 80.
Yeah.
He's doing this till he's 85.
I mean, this is his life.
So, Brady, what are you going to do? You're going to have to play till you're 60.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. And I really do. And you know what? It's say, God forbid, Brady leaves. And he goes to, the Carolina Panthers. Or he goes somewhere else. He goes to Tennessee or whatever. He does whatever he does. No one's going to remember that when it's all said and done. It's like Michael Jordan went to the Washington Wizards. He still had it at the end of his career.
I don't even remember that about him.
But do people, it was like in the late 90s, early 2000s, do people still remember that by Jordan?
Right.
No. They remember Jordan as that killer that played for the Chicago Bulls. That's all they will remember for someone like him. Yeah, it stinks. It's going to hurt. I think he doesn't do it because it could hurt his brand up in New England. We're selfish, like we're so spoiled up here.
We are ridiculous.
But I would like to go see him go play for someone else, and Belichick and Brady go, okay, we're going to go do this on our own. And the Patriots are a system. They went 11-5 without Brady.
With Matt Castle,
right? And they should have made the playoffs that year. It was a very funky year that they didn't make it because Miami and the Jets also were 11-5, and it all came down to strength of schedule and whatnot. But it would just make it interesting. I think Brady literally plays till he's 50.
Do you really?
Yes, because he's selling his TB12. He's selling the pliability. And the longer he keeps going, he wants to break records.
Yeah.
Hey, I have 6. Why can't I get 7? Why can't I get 8?
Right.
Why can't I get 9? Like, why can't I be 10? Why can't I try to compete with Bill Russell?
Right.
Like, why don't I do that,
And us as fans will take it as long as we can get it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that if Brady... say he plays next year, and the Pats go 9-7 and miss the playoffs. You stick with him.
Right.
Stay with him, dude.
You'll stay with him until
you got to stay with him until he literally says he sucks.
Right.
Until he has that Peyton Manning season. Peyton Manning sucked that last season.
Yeah. He turned into a noodle arm in the Super Bowl.
But he's got a mind. Tom Brady can go under center and just hand off the ball the entire game and maybe have like 10 passes and they'll still win games. Like they will. Game manager.
Right.
So
and then with the defense being that stacked.
And this guy is spending $1 million on his body every year through nutrition, through Alex Guerrero, and like keeping his body really healthy. I believe in the TB12 stuff. Yeah. That Tom versus Time thing was very interesting.
That was a great documentary, dude. I loved it.
If I took one thing out of it, it was when Guerrero was beating the crap out of him and just hitting him, and he was hitting him like this and doing that. These guys have, the OTAs and the preseason. So if your body's not taking a hit and you're not used to it, you go into preseason and then finally hit that first hit, and it's been 6 or 7 or 8 months since you've gotten hit like that.
Right.
Your body's not going to be used to it. You're going to get hurt. That's why you see a lot more players get hurt. I love wrestling, of course, as you can tell.
Yeah, we got the belt here.
They slam their bodies 300 nights a year on that mat over and over and over again, and that's why their bodies can take that impact over that time. Yeah. So what Brady and Guerrero is doing is that's what I think is what's happening is he's just hitting his body, acting like he's taking these hits and stuff like that.
Right, so, they were definitely preparing for it. I remember that he was hitting him with like
hitting him in the thigh and hitting him all over the place, and your body needs to just keep that for both a mental state and a physical state.
Yeah, I think he even said that they were preparing him for impact. Yeah. Hey, dude, Tom Brady DM'd you, huh? That was nuts. So that was after you came out with that commercial. That was a great commercial, by the way.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was cool because somebody out in California showed me the commercial, or showed me like a sign up for this. Yeah. I had 24 hours to do it. Signed up. They flew me out to LA. All expenses paid. Yeah. It was Peter Berg who did the NFL 100 commercial. He does like Mark Wahlberg's movies. He's in Ballers. He's a producer for them. Okay. So he filmed it. It was awesome. We were in a studio. It was just 1 hour, but I also know, like, when the camera's on, like, I know how to cut lines. Like, obviously, this is live right now, but if it's not live, like, you know how you can say lines over and over and over again. And it was cool, man. It was awesome exposure and stuff. Yeah, and a lot of people recognize it. A lot of other DMs and stuff like that. The Brady DM is funny, and all I got to say is, like, don't doubt on the stuff I do. Just keep hating. People want to say what they want to say. Yep. And, there's a lot of other stuff I don't show out there. This is my one thing about the DM, all right? I put it out there, and I thought I said something funny back.
Right, I thought it was hilarious, yeah.
But a lot of people are like, oh, you should have said thank you so much, Tom Brady. Yeah. Thank you so much for being in my DM, and thank you so much for being this. Screw you. You don't see what else is being said after that. And like, it's just like, I'm just getting fired up because it's just like, I have to live your way. I have to live what you say. Like, let me be funny.
That's the internet, man. People want to respond for you, and then they want to complain when you say whatever it is you want to say.
If I say something like that, he might be like, I like that because it's not that typical fan response. Like, I'm going to suck your dick. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, that's just who I am, dude. And a lot of these players are starting to see that, I built up this repetition, and I'm a loudmouth SOB at the end of the day, and some players might not like that, and I don't care what they think. I'm just doing me at the end of the day. But I think last year's tattoo with them winning it, they started seeing like, okay, like this guy does a lot. But guess what? I'm there at the Celtics doing the Taco Fall, like in the taco costume.
Yeah, I've seen that,
I'll go to Bruins game with Bruins Warrior. We got a guy at Bruins Warrior. He's always on the Jumbotron. We'll go to Sox games. We'll do all this other Boston things. There's things. I'm here to market. I'm here to promo. I'm here to help out. I'm here to show the community, and that's what's cool about it. And what I like doing, what I do, and I go to all these tailgates and I travel around, is that people kind of live vicariously through me. They're like, I want to see what a game day is like. There are so many people out there from Texas to California to Mexico to Japan that follow, and they're like, I just want to watch you because I want to see what it's like out there on a Boston game day. Everyone has different experiences, but I try to bring that home to everybody.
Yeah, for sure. All right, awesome. And before we wrap up, what's next for the Spike King? Let them know.
Whew, I know. This is too much of a short show, dude. I could go longer than this.
We're going to have you back.
Bring me back.
I was going to say, we have you back on again.
We're going to have to bring me back.
You got to be a repeat customer here.
What's next is, so I just got signed on with Julian Edelman's JE11 shop.
That's awesome.
As a brand ambassador. They have a few of them.
Congrats.
I'm going to kill it. I know who I am. I'm here to make Edelman some money. I'm here to have some fun with that. I'll be in Philly in 2 weeks. That's actually going to be my last trip of the season. I'm not going to do Houston. I'm not going to do Cincinnati. I have other things that are going to try to be lined up for that. And then I'll go to Super Bowl, Miami. Absolutely. So I got to start gearing up for that, start getting ready for that. And, a little cheap plug right here. Yeah, go ahead. We got to give a shout out to 1in100.co. 1in100 is the only ticket raffle website in the New England area that can get you to the game for a fraction of the price. Here's an example.
There you go.
Here's an example. Dallas Cowboys game, $400 to get in for one ticket. $12 for a raffle ticket to get in there.
Right.
For 2 seats, 2 premium seats to get in there.
They give great seats.
Dude.
I saw
They're
that.
Great seats.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
They have section 300s, but then they have section in the 100s, 11 rows from the field. And they do it for the Celtics and they do it for the Bruins as well. So.
Right. I saw that with the girl for the Celtics. She was like courtside.
Yeah,
it was courtside. It was like a week ago, right? $2.
Because she had a $10 off promo code because if it's your first time signing up. And I met her and she's like, I follow you. I was a little skeptical.
Yeah.
She's like, I just did it. It was $2. And she's like, I sat courtside.
Yeah.
And I was like, awesome. Like, that's cool. Like, that's what we want to show off. So it's cool, man. I really appreciate you bringing me on here.
I appreciate you coming on. So
follow, lots to talk about.
Follow him, Spike King. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Like it, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.